You have highlighted a couple of times in the talk today the importance of culture and building a business. How do you maintain a level of culture, particularly when you're growing so rapidly and when you're so sparse, so spread out? You know, how do you enforce and maintain the culture that you know the business needs to continue?
You got to hire great people. You spend a lot of time and a lot of energy in making sure that you hire people that have similar core values to what your business has and the way that you operate, and focus on those behaviors and making sure that you instill that kind of organic culture.
Do you believe in the, hire the attitude and teach the skill, or is that a balancing act too?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to have. It gets more difficult as you grow larger and as you need more specific niche skills and whatnot. But fundamentally, you and especially with consulting, you have to have good soft skills, good people skills. Be able to instantly have rapport with your customers, and you can't really teach that. You have to have it, or have those sort of fundamentals that you can then peel away a bit of anxiety, but you've got that sort of fundamentals there. And then also know, there's tons of resources, and if you've got good core technical skills, we can build on that. But we can't build on someone who's brilliant technician, but just doesn't have the people skills. In our business, there's really almost no one that is sort of just locked away in a back room. Basically everyone is customer facing, so you've got to have those skills. So building the culture is so important around hiring people. And we are a people business. That's what we do. We sell people's time. So having the right people is just the most important thing.
But then how do you keep up? And I'll paint it in a picture where I used COVID as the perfect example, right? So the time that we had during lockdowns, and in particular here, it was an interesting time for me because I had just started. I was 2 weeks into this business, and having to try and build that rapport. You need that connectedness. You sort of, I'm an empath. I like to be in the room with someone because it helps me read body language and understand what they're like. And so my biggest fear was there is no way that I'm going to be able to bring culture the way I know how, given this environment, because I can't be around these people. I can't, it's going to be different. When you can't be with your people all the time because they're scattered around the world. Is that do you regularly get together with your leaders and sort of champion that framework? Are there things that you're revisiting as strategy and leveraging the culture as being the important thing? How do you keep that up?
Yeah, good question. There's a few things to unpack there. First, during COVID, it was really difficult. It was especially difficult for me. I'm similar. I'd like to be in the room. I like the physical presence. But ultimately, I think that what we ended up doing was just trying to be as real as possible. Just spend some time, literally just call, use Google Meet or whatever we were using then. Just quickly drop a line on people. Do like the afternoon, afternoon drinks. We used to send out. We'd send out like Uber Eats vouchers. To people and sort of do virtual, catch ups. Just try anything that we can to try and bring people together to create a sense of community, even albeit digitally. And look, it worked well. It was, it was a challenging time, but we kind of, we were also really fortunate in our industry because we were still busy. So we weren't trying to battle a culture problem and also a business lack of work problem. We were flat out. So it made it a lot easier for us because you're still busy. So you've got lots of things keeping you occupied. And then we just had to top it up with a bit of culture, with a bit of engagement. So that was that side. The next part about sort of maintaining it, revisiting it, is a really interesting thing. I feel like, you know, the whole industry was quite challenging last year. In the Salesforce space, after all the tech layoffs and everything kind of plateaued, and we really right-sized. We had, you know, we were just on this growth trajectory, so it was a good opportunity for us to sort of stop, right-size the business, change a few things, and I think during that time there was, you know, a few other challenges as well, and for a period of time I got distracted from culture, from some of those things. It didn't completely erode, but it's interesting when you kind of, you know, look over your shoulder and go, well, hang on a second, and then go and refocus on it again. We were lucky. We had a good organic culture, so even with me not focusing on it for a period of time, it didn't completely erode. It didn't go away. But then, you know, you have to turn your attention back to it and, you know, cultivate it and make sure that it, you know, it continues and you nurture it and that you give it direction.
Yeah.
So that's probably been in the last 6 months, refocusing on that, you know, making sure that we're spending time with people, focusing on people's, you know, training and development, all those kinds of things. It's really important.